Hello, welcome to my channel. So if this is the first time of you watching my channel, this Usa's Corner, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share, and if you want any more information, you can DM us. We are here to help you. Today's topic will be dealing with breastfeeding. I know mothers' ears are all antennas, all grown up. So it's not just about for new mothers or old mothers, even people that are about to be grandmothers. It will really help you because you will have a better perspective about breastfeeding. So what is really breastfeeding? Is about you feeding your child with your breast. Please, with your breast. It has nothing to do with supplementary milk. So what does it entail for you to breastfeed a child? I used to call them the 5 keys. What are the 5 keys? What does it really help your child to do? First, for the nutrition of your child. 2, the complete health of your child. 3, the survival. Of course, even you can't do with food. You can't do without food. So you also need to feed the child. 4, you also need it for the development of your child. And 5, you also need it for the protection of your child. So we see all those 5 keys encompasses why you need to breastfeed. I know with the generation that we are in, everybody is busy, nobody wants to breastfeed, but you can also pump. It's also part of breastfeeding. Just because you're not breastfeeding directly doesn't mean you're not feeding the child with your breast milk. So you can also do that. So why breastfeed exclusively for 6 months? When we say exclusive breastfeeding, we mean just breastfeeding. Some people give water. That's not exclusive. Anything other than your breast milk being given to a child is not exclusive. It has to be strictly breast milk. I get a ton of questions when people ask me, but the child will be dehydrated. It's hot. Please, what? So the breast milk, it contains more of water. Over 70% of your breast milk is water. The others are the protein, the lactose, and the other nutrients that the baby needs. So you don't need to add any additional water if you want to do exclusive breastfeeding. But if you add water, I'm sorry to tell you that you're not practicing exclusive breastfeeding. What's really the benefit of breastfeeding your child exclusively? Number one, above all things, is that it's affordable. You don't need to buy the milk. You don't need to calculate how much. You don't need to calculate, okay, is this the quantity the baby needs? Because you'll be able to know. 2, the bonding that you share with your child. There's always that bonding when there's that nurturing between a mother and a child. That's why when you even give birth at first, they said, okay, let's make skin contact between the mother and the child. And when you're breastfeeding, that gives you more of that, and there's always a bond between that mother and a child, and that emotional attachment. So other than the emotional attachment, we also know that it also serves as a contraceptive. I know it does that to so many women, and some women will say, no, it doesn't. Yeah, for me too, it doesn't really work, because everything comes back to normal after I give birth. But it doesn't mean that you still won't breastfeed your child exclusively. Another point that we have to look at is that it prevents, infection to your child. I know that when you breastfeed well, you don't need to deal with sterilization of those bottles. You don't need to do with feeding. You don't think of anything. The main thing you need to do is you need to keep your hygiene in check. You need to have self-care, and you need to keep those nipples and your breast clean and safe for the child to suckle. I know mothers will say, I have this question always popping up. I have only small breasts. I don't think I can breastfeed my child, or I have bigger breasts. Please, the size of your breast has nothing to do with the production of your milk. Whether you have a small breast or a big breast, we almost have the same size of mammary glands, so the production will be the same. The amount of food you're eating, or whatever you're taking in, or keeping yourself or resting, has nothing to do with the production of your milk. If your child does not suckle well, it's not going to produce more milk. Every time you feed that child, you have to make sure that your child is suckling well to produce more milk for the child to eat. Without that, that means there will be consequences for everything we do. First, if your child does not suckle well, number one, you will have engorgement of your breast. That means your breast will be so full, and the child won't be able to eat, and you too, you'll be in pain. So, and another one is that it can lead to cracked nipples. I know first time mothers usually have it. You'll see that your nipples are peeling, they are moving, you'll be in so much pain. Some can have pus there. Why? Because the child is not really sucking as it should. And the main thing I can tell you is that you consult your doctors to do it. Just as a first aid, you can just put your normal petroleum jelly there, it will help. But you need to also consult your doctors if you experience that. Another thing is that your child too will be prone to illnesses because the child is not sucking. So of course the immunity of the child won't be built up. Another point that we have to look at again is that the child will cry a lot, a lot. You're wondering, this child has eaten, but he keeps crying. That means he's not full, he's not okay. It's not how long you breastfeed a child, that means the child is eating. The more time you consume, breastfeeding a child means that your breast is not producing enough milk or the child isn't taking enough milk. There are two ways to that. Another point you have to look at is that if the child cries a lot, you have to also consult your doctor on that, because sometimes not all of us can produce the amount of milk that the baby needs. That's why there are supplementary feeds. And sometimes some people have health challenges which will make you unable to breastfeed your child. There is no wrong or right answer. If you want to breastfeed, is your choice as a mother. If you don't want to breastfeed, is a choice as a mother. But our own take on it, or my own take on it, is that there are always pros to it, things that you benefit even as a mother. And another point of that is that it also helps you to prevent breast cancer and ovarian cancer, because of course you're making use of the breast, you keep breastfeeding. Make sure you always look onto that. So if your breast isn't producing more, I want to just introduce that there are so many supplements that so to supplement, to help you and boost your lactation, there are cookies, there are powders, there are so many things that you can take these days that will help the mother, produce more milk for the baby to suckle well and to grow well. So I have one that I know, the milkicious milk here. They are just lactation cookies here. You can just go, is Ella's lactation booster. Their Instagram handle, the link will be down, so you can go click. And if you purchase anyone, you can just use my password, which is USA. You can get it at a discount rate. This will really help you. I'm sure that anybody that uses this, you'll give me the testimony. So I'm waiting for all your results and waiting for all your feedbacks on this, and I'm sure it will do justice to your problem. So above all, just make sure that you breastfeed your child well, you make sure you eat healthy, you rest healthy. A happy mother directly proportional to a happy child. So keep being real, and we love you. Stay blessed. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like, subscribe, share. We're keeping it real. Thank you.